Marvel's last 3 major movies in the box office being cataclysmic failures for the brand. 2025 will likely be the first year since 2011 where an MCU film doesn't finish in the top 10 at the box office, the global box office. Keep that in mind. Yeah, well, that's not surprising, and in least because, well, nobody wanted Brave New World, and Thunderbolts, nobody wanted that either. The film was rough and didn't follow the right character. People are like, "Oh my god, but Yelena, we gotta push Yelena." I'm like, Florence Pugh is a fine actress. I'm not gonna sit here and criticize her. She's a fine actress. She's got talent and all that, but they are not doing her justice with the fucking role. They've pretty much just made her blonde Black Widow. This second version of Black Widow, just copy paste, and it's ridiculous. It's obscene and ridiculous that Marvel has no capabilities, and they realized I'm thinking they realized they screwed up with Black Widow, with, Natasha Romanoff. They screwed up with her so bad because I know everyone I know when I was a kid, when Phase 1 had finished, everyone was like, "We need a Black Widow movie. Black Widow needs to have, have her own movie. She's a spy, it's a spy thriller. It would be awesome, and she's an attractive woman. Who doesn't want that?" Literally, no one I met said that they didn't want it. We didn't get a Widow movie until after she died. They're desperately trying to push this, Yelena as this new, MCU Black Widow, and it's just not working. She's the main character of this movie, or at least a centrally focused character, but it's just not working. And yet they'll criticize and condemn a character like John Walker, who was actually a good character, a guy who murdered a terrorist. Oh, wait, yeah, that's what he did. He did kill a terrorist. He didn't murder him, he killed him in righteous defense of the innocent because the terrorist helped blow up buildings across Europe and across the world, actually, where they were threatening innocent lives, where the leader was starting to become callous and not care for innocent life, and he aided in killing the friend of John Walker. Wow. Yeah, no, John Walker's a hero, as simple as that. He should have been the main character. A guy who was ostracized by the public for doing the right thing, ridding the world of a terrorist, and he was a terrorist. He wasn't a liberator. He was a freaking terrorist. He was killing, he was destroying people's lives. John Walker should have been the main character. People also act like Captain America didn't kill, even though he was a World War II soldier. Going back to Yelena, it doesn't work because she's not a compelling character. She's not. She's nothing about her is compelling. People didn't like her in Hawkeye. People didn't really like her in in Black Widow, where she should have died when she fucking stabbed a highly explosive device that blew up mere foot away from her, and somehow she managed to survive with nothing but a few a bit of grime and gunk on her face, and her hair was a little disheveled. She managed to survive perfectly fine. And now Black Widow was a terrible movie. Thunderbolts is an ass movie where they had Sentry be the main villain, or the Void be the main villain. Sentry being a hero esque character, and he was like sad, and that could have meant something. But they pretty much turned it into a joke like the MCU does. It could have been a movie that highlights depression and talks about the seriousness of it without making a joke of everything, because they always do this with everything. Marvel has had this terrible habit of making jokes where they're not necessary, and I hear with Fantastic Four, there was a lot of decent moments in it. Like, it wasn't a horrendous movie. It wasn't a great movie, but it was better than the other 2 on this picture, and, then they released Ironheart, which was a terrible show. they pushed it back for as long as they possibly could, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, "Did the writers of the show not watch any MCU movies leading up to this? Any of them? Like Iron Man 1, the first fucking MCU movie? No, they didn't, and simple as that. They are just idiotic and incompetent. But dude, the MCU is just ass. They're not hiring writers. They're not hiring talented directors or producers or even actors. They're hiring activists first. They're hiring people who have a political agenda and a narrative they wish to push. They don't care about it, and ultimately, all this falls on Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige is the fucking problem. He is, and there's no one else to blame other than Kevin Feige. And, like, his decision, his choices are what's killing the MCU. It's ridiculous. People are getting tired of this. Like, these movies are failing because people are getting tired of it. The MCU is failing because people are tired of receiving trash product from a company who could easily make the best stories in the world with no competition at all. They could easily completely wipe out the competition in animation, in live action, in superhero, but they're hiring activists who know fucking nothing about anything. These people who spend their lives making mountains out of molehills, and Marvel's never gonna learn. Marvel is never gonna learn. Marvel is just not in a good spot, and they're just releasing either well, Disney is releasing either sequel or remakes or prequels, or they're not creating anything original, and that's one of the big issues. I mean, we had Sinners and Weapons in the box office this year, and they did phenomenal, and Sinners was a freaking awesome movie. It was a great movie. I still have yet to see Weapons. I It's ridiculous. Like, Marvel could easily dominate the box office if they just got their heads out of their asses. It's really not that hard. Well, I mean, I guess it isn't exactly easy to throw your pride away. Um, but well, these it's just, dude, come on. This should be a lesson learned. And now with the next movie coming out being Spider-Man: Brand New Day, people are speculating like how well it's going to do in theaters, and if they do it right, it will make $1 billion. I'm confident of that. It will because it's got Hulk, it's got Punisher. It's speculating that new female actress that's in it is going to be playing Kitty Pride or another character. Um, but yeah, no, it's something. Everything I've heard about it, honestly, I don't. I'm not angry about. The suit looks awesome. The concept sounds great of the movie, which we don't have an official concept, but being called Brand New Day and it has Hulk and Punisher in it, it's kind of implied of what it's roughly about, which is a comic run called Brand New Day. No, this could that movie could will likely succeed. People love Spider-Man. Spider-Man is an easy box office draw. Now, Avengers Doomsday is the next question on whether it will be a success. Based on how Based on the fact that they haven't completed the script yet, and they're filming, which, any smart company starts filming before they finish a script. Any smart company does that. Uh, it shows that there's gonna be a lot of reshoots. There's gonna be a shit ton of reshoots. It's going to be tremendous how much reshoots they're gonna have because and they're gonna have a lot. With the cast in it, with roughly around, like, I believe, like, 60 an estimate of 60 people gonna be in the movie, dude, it's gonna be damn close to flopping. If it makes money, it's gonna make like $200 million, 100 to $200 million. It's not gonna make much because they have to pay Robert Downey Jr. estimated from 100 million per film to 200 million per film. That's 200 to $400 million uh, uh, for both films, which is a lot of fucking money. That's more than the price of multiple Godzilla minus ones. In it's just it's ridiculous, dude. It's flat out ridiculous. They have to pay all these other cast members, and this is not including the marketing. If this budget for this movie reaches 3 to 400,000, they are doomed. They're not going to make much money. If it reaches anything higher than that, then they are mightily screwed. These movies are just not doing good. Like because they're bloating these movies with excess stuff. They're reshooting constantly, and they're not hiring people who have a vision. It's really just crazy. It genuinely is just so insanely crazy, how Marvel is just they have what? A plethora of stories that are loved. They, have so many stories, where in their arsenal of comics where they could make dozens of phenomenal movies, and yet they're just not. They're just not. And now there's, like, rumors with the Avengers Doomsday that, like, Robert Downey Jr. is fighting with Ryan Reynolds and Pedro Pascal, and I'm like, if that's true, well, 1, it's just not a good sign, and 2, it is I don't believe it. You know why I don't believe it? Because it's just attention to try to get on the movie. It just clicks. That's what it is. These movies are just not I have no f I fairly confident that, Doomsday will make around $1 billion. I think because of the cameos, it will make a lot of money. And by a lot of money, I mean it will reach its break-even point. It will reach that and maybe make, like, 200 million more, maybe 100 million more. If that, it will reach its break-even point and then make, uh, a bit more. But it's still it's gonna be close. Spider-Man is the only movie I'm fairly confident will do pretty good if they don't screw it up. I have had no issue with Tom Holland. I honestly think he's a good Spider-Man. I think he did a good job. I think there were aspects of Andrew Garfield who did a good job, and I think Tobey Maguire is the most iconic version of Spider-Man, and he's just one of the best. Um, and, like, I grew up with Tobey Maguire. I did. I grew up with Tobey Maguire, and then, like, Andrew Garfield came out in 2000. What was it? 2011 or 12 was when Amazing Spider-Man came out. All these movies, all these movies did great, and well, objectively, I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 is better than a lot of the MCU slop we're getting nowadays because it's just trash. Like they're just producing trash. And what? It's like the next movie from the MCU is Brand New Day. I don't think there's anything else coming out with the MCU. Nothing that is worth watching at least. I genuinely can't think of anything that's coming out like after but before Brand New Day. But yeah, no, maybe they should take this as a lesson and not release so many fucking movies a year. It's not necessary to release 3 movies. Fans will be satisfied with 1 movie a year, and that's honestly how it should be. But they're not gonna learn. That they're not learning. I guarantee they're not learning. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.